Hello and welcome back to Kev's Vintage Tractor Repair channel. In today's episode, we're going to be removing the diesel injection pump from our Fordson Dexta Engine. This channel is sponsored by Emmark UK Limited, and also what I'd like to say is a really big thank you to all the people who subscribe to my channel, as we have now hit over 1,000 subscribers. I'm really chuffed and thank you very much. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello and welcome back to Kev's Vintage Tractor Repair. The previous episode, what we did, we removed the cylinder head and we had a bit of a look. All right, there's lots of sort of dirt and rubbish and bits and pieces down there, but in the end, it's not too bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to carry on sort of removing parts, but what we're going to do first of all, we're going to remove the filters and we're going to remove the injection pump. We've timed the engine up. We know it's all at top dead center and where it should be. What we're going to do, we're going to remove this sprocket here. Same thing what I said all the time. Take a couple of photos so you know where things are. I like to dot punch. So we'll just put a little dot on there and one on there as well. So we've got one which is actually on the pump and the other one is actually on the sprocket, because you're going to find when we take this off, you can adjust it. All right, you can sort of advance it or retard it depending on whatever you need to do. So we'll just undo these. So all we do now is off it comes. We're going to send the pump away to have it looked at, serviced and so on. I've dot punched it there, so when we come to refit the thing, we can put it back on and we've got a starting place to when we start sort of tweaking the pump and get it running lovely. So you don't have to do it, but it's nice to have a little starting place just to help you out when you get it back. So that's that piece off. So what we'll do, we'll just turn the engine, and what we'll do, we'll start taking a few of these other pieces off. Let's get some of these fuel lines off. Little lift pump on here, the little plunger's gone, the bleed, or to pump the fuel through. So that'll be replaced. Put a nice new one on there. You can buy the kits to rebuild them, but time you've messed about and put all these different bits and pieces in, I've never really had a lot of success with it, and for what they cost, you're better off just changing them. If we imagine here's the fuel tank, so we have a line here, comes through here to the pump. The cam in there will operate the little lift pump, draws fuel through here into the filter, through this back pipe into the fuel gallery there, and then injects it to whatever cylinder in time it needs. Another one out. A little bit of diesel. So let's get the diesel filter off. There we go. And that's the little extender piece for the pump. This is the oil filter housing, so we'll just remove this one. Now this one is exactly the same as the 35. You can buy kits to put modern filters on, little brackets on here. And there we go. Take the dipstick out. That's all these other odds and ends off. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take that coolant neck out. We've now taken this elbow off, if you wish, for the coolant. There's probably still a little bit of coolant left in there. Okay, so what we've got is there's some bolts all around the outside. We can see the 1/2-inch ones, or 1/2-inch heads. They're the ones that actually go through and hold the pump to the timing cover plate. All right, so if we just look down the back of the pump there, there's a couple of bolts down there. They're a little bit awkward to get to. All right, so what we'll do, we'll start removing some of these bolts. So it's going to be a little bit trial and error. It's been ages since I've done one of these. Another thing to do if we're removing it, and I should have done this as soon as I took the injector lines off, was cover the top of the pump. I know it's going to go get serviced, but some of you might not be servicing your pumps. You may well be taking it off and putting it back on. So the best thing is to cover them up so you don't get any rubbish in there. There's so many on here. I think there's some which are a 7/16 head, and then there's some 1/2 inch. This is a little bit awkward to get onto. Sort of the throttle part of the governor on there. Yeah, I think there's one right under there. That's a really awkward one. There's one right underneath here. There we go. Right, that's no started. It's just finding ways around it. I suppose I could have took all the time and cover off, or all this housing, but if you had to change your pump for any reason, this is pretty much how you're going to do it. I don't like using the wrong size socket, but it should be a 1/2 inch. This is my little quarter drive with a 13mm socket in, but it's doing the job. I think they've got the world's longest bolts on it. Obviously this is the world's stupidest bolt, and there the bastard is. Right, I'll do the rest of them. I don't think anybody's had this off before. There we go. So just be careful. Bolt stud. Out she comes. And there is our not so little Sims pump. A bit more diesel leaking out, so let's get that out. I don't think it's ever been off, looking at this. All I'll do with this is give it a wash with the injectors, and then I'll send it off and have this refurbed, all ready to put back once I've painted all the engine and bits and pieces. Made it look pretty. That's that piece. If we remember from the first episode, I was pointing out all the timing marks and bits and pieces. These are the ones we were trying to look at through the little window. So you got a TC, bottom line, and then you got the other little marker just inside. So that's what it looks like inside. Those of you who have this engine block in your 35 or your 135, they do tend to have a problem with cracking the blocks. You can either go through here, because there's a little water gallery. So I'm just getting the rest of the water out, that's in it. But these engine blocks, the Perkins engine block is used on different bits of machinery and things like that. They do tend to, I'll just shut that off. Yeah, I'll get the rest out tomorrow. They do tend to crack either through here or under here. And the reason is, there's a water gallery in here, and I know the tap is there, but what it tends to do, the water tends to hang in this little area here. You drain it at winter. I know we've got all our modern antifreezers and bits and pieces. Years ago when these were new, a lot of the time it was pretty much just water in there. That is just something to look for on if you're going out to buy a tractor or with this engine in, or like I say, just have a quick look at your own and just wondering why there's like a dirty rusty mark coming along there. It's not the end of the world. You can have them welded or stitched back together, which works. The other thing is you just see if you can find another engine block without a crack in, but they are coming a bit few and far between now. But it's just something to look at in your personal tractor. Other bits on here, obviously that's the oil filter oil pressure switch, and obviously that's your coolant drain. What we're going to do, we're going to call that it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you took something from it, and I'll also see you next time.